Life is changing in Australia as it is changing all around the world. Life is going to continue to change as we deal with the global coronavirus.
First name's Ava and I'm 10 years old.
Yeah, so I'm Blair and I'm 17.
Stefana and I'm 16.
My name is Levi Spencer and I am 11 years old.
My name is Jazar and I'm 8 years old.
So I'm Sammy Tysus and I'm 15.
I'm Zoe and I'm 16.
My name is Heidi Hoffman and I'm 14 years old.
My name's Taylor and I am 10 years old.
What do I think about the coronavirus? It's obviously a very stressful and scary time. You know, this virus has caused massive pandemonium around the world, and it can be very distressful for a lot of people who haven't gone through a lot of that stuff. But I think it's important just to focus on trying not to spread germs and staying inside and doing your best to help the world recover from this massive event.
Well, I think that it's a really, really bad disease, and I reckon it's gonna have a huge impact on the world and all the people, especially the elderly.
I think it is a sickness that people get if they don't wash their hands or if they breathe on other people.
A virus that spreads and you can get sick from it.
I believe it's classed as a pandemic now, so yeah, that's that.
We all in general, as in Australia and other countries, thought it was a little simple virus or a sickness that wouldn't have grown into such extreme measures as it has now.
Yeah, I think that the coronavirus, it is a bit of a health risk for the older people, and it is pretty serious. But I also think that the media has really just exploded it out of proportion a bit.
Something like a pandemic, according to what everyone across the world is saying. And it's something that has really greatly affected us, I feel.
Well, I think it was a day after it was on the news. That's when my dad told me about how bad it was and all that.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and how did you hear about it?
On the news.
I heard it on the news and I just thought it was just like a little virus that wouldn't hurt anyone, but a couple months later it's people are dying. I'm like,
Probably early January. That's when I started hearing about it. I wasn't really fazed by it then and stuff. Didn't really bother me because it hadn't really spread so far yet. And then now that it's kind of everywhere, it's putting a bit more angst in my day-to-day routine.
Month or 2 months ago, and at first it was not something that was troubling me. I was like, everyone's being so dramatic, and then more people start talking and it's just it gets you freaked out.
So I first heard about it on the news. It was probably around mid-February. It had just had an outbreak in China, and they were starting to talk about it and think about the possibilities of it coming to Australia.
Well, I'd say for them to go to the hospital and tell someone, but not literally just go up to someone straight up and say I have the virus, or else that might make them panic and it could make a huge lockdown on the street or the place they're at.
Don't be afraid, just trust in God.
I mean, yeah, probably trying to keep away from people, even though that is quite hard because we as humans are very social people and we do need to have, social connections. But I think, yeah, trying to keep away from people as much as possible is a good idea.
keep eating your vegetables and don't do anything don't eat unhealthy, and make sure your immune system is good.
Do I know anyone that has it? No, I don't.
Do I know anyone that has it? Not personally.
No, not yet at least.
I know a famous actor, but I don't know his name.
Would that be Tom Hanks?
Probably.
No, but a couple of my family members are in isolation.
Not personally, but I've heard of 2 cases within close reaches of my area.
Like the other day I had a customer come up to me like, how come you're not wearing a face mask? How come you're not wearing gloves? Like, you guys work here, you should be on top of it, and like having to go at me about it all. And like, we obviously have to sanitize and have to wash our hands, wipe everything down. Like, I'm not posing any risk to anyone and stuff. Like, and it's kind of, when I'm working as well, it's the fear that I could contract it and then give it to somebody else as well.
Yes, like all my friends, can't have play dates with them, see them, hug them, can't hug that much family, and it's just really crazy.
So much has changed, I feel like. Even shopping has changed because you go out and they wipe down all the trolleys before you get one. At school it's changed drastically. We have to sit 2 desks apart.
I know my school play that got cancelled, which is obviously very upsetting, and because we work so hard for it, but with the current circumstances, you know, it's totally necessary, and understand that.
I don't have swimming, rugby, I've got nothing at all. I can't go on the oval in my school because there's too much people there.
You don't realise how unhygienic we can be, and just by knowing that you can catch something like this from, yes, the touch of someone, but also from the touch of a doorknob.
But I think the last day I went to school, it was Tuesday, and there was maybe 3 kids in my class. You know, there was restrictions on going out. I haven't seen any of my friends in person since Tuesday, which is weird. You know, the toilet paper scenario, there was none left, so.
Yeah, a lot has changed. Like, school has changed since I haven't been at school I went to school yesterday, but I didn't go to school today, and I also didn't go to school on, when was it? Wednesday, because, well, we had to stay in because of wet weather, and they thought it would be a bad idea because social distancing wouldn't be very well working properly.
The supplying of food and like other stuff like that might stop, and I guess that's what worries me. It's not exactly the virus that worries me, it's the effects of it on the economy and everything like that.
I've never been in times where there's been such an economic downfall. I know since I was born in 2005, it was all very economically great and everyone had all their businesses and wealth. And you know, my dad was in a recession, and it will definitely affect the work for my generation.
Yeah, my biggest fear. So I'm pretty close with my nana, and I would hate for me to have it without knowing and then give it to her. It would just kill me if I knew that I did that.
That I have a better immune system than some others that don't, because they've said that people with weaker immune systems are more prone to getting it. That's why a lot of the elderly are getting it, because their immune systems are quite low.
Being locked inside with my family for 2 weeks or longer, depending on how long the government might shut us down for. But yeah, it'd be very strange and weird and kind of confronting to just not be able to leave your house for anything.
I would say, first of all, stay strong, and no matter what, let them know that there are so many people behind them, backing them up through anything they're experiencing. Because a lot of us have not experienced it, don't know how to treat it. It is a lot of uncharted territory.
I'll probably stay positive by just joking around with mates and stuff, just distracting myself from it all. Even joking about it, trying to like make it seem less threatening than what it is and stuff, and just trying to go through day-to-day life.
The ways to stay positive, definitely focus on your mental and physical health. I know I'm doing like just online, I found like some fitness YouTube videos, and that have helped me so much. I just feel a lot more motivated to get around my day and feel more positive, just making sure I'm like calling my friends and talking, keeping my social interactions up, but just not verbally or face to face.
Making jokes about it, and following like the isolation rules, but like not being too hyped up about it and be like, don't come anywhere near me. Actually, I have been like that a little bit. I mean, like, okay, sorry, just back away to my friends because I'm scared a little bit sometimes.
I stay positive because if there's not enough people in the world that are positive, then we're all going to be brought down by the coronavirus, and not many people are going to fight and put so much energy, because some people can just think, oh, I've got it, I'm about to die, without that positivity in their life to encourage them to push through.
So preventing it in the future, that definitely means just making sure our hygiene is very good, and if you're traveling, just make sure you're not ill beforehand. Obviously there are going to be viruses that are unpreventable, but just making sure that it doesn't spread by just isolating yourself if you are sick, and making sure that you go by the government's the procedures.
I think that we could stop it if everyone just isolates and just takes a break from everything. Like, even though the government's telling us just stop, isolate, don't go outside if you don't 100% need to, and even still people are just going out. Like, I know some of my mates just went out just to go out to Pack Fair, just chill around and stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I guess in one way, you want to close down the borders and everything, and in another way, I had a math teacher tell me we shouldn't close down the borders because eventually when we open them again, it will just come in again and it will start all over.
Well, from the people that have unfortunately passed away, doing autopsies on them to try and see or work out what actually happens or has happened within our bodies, we can learn a lot from just that.
They should have closed the borders a lot earlier, because if they closed the borders, the people that had the virus wouldn't have got in, and that would have like stopped the spread.
I would say to someone who had the virus to just make sure they have the right support they need, right? Like going to the hospital, making sure that they're healthy and staying away from people, making sure their hygiene is really, really top notch.
Get it all in there. This is how my dad tells me to do it. And that's how you wash your hands.
Also, I reckon like it's best to, if you wash your hands, try your best to social distance and try and stay apart from big groups of people.